Alright guys, so it's Sunday the 26th of February. Just come out the morgue. On,
morgue, you know.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of dead bodies today on that pitch, but recording a Black Sunday because it was probably a low point for us. So start off with Coach Rudy, who will take you through the under eights. So Rudy, what do you think?
There's nothing to really say. It's just dead today. Literally, no excitement coming off that pitch. Nothing. We didn't have nothing. We just got a lot of work to do. For a team that's scored 113 goals, we played teams off the park, but I kept saying it that we're not good. We're not good. We just, a few players keep bailing us out, and today that showed. And that's it really. We've got to do proper recruitment drive again, and we've got to start again really. That's where I'm going with the under 8s as a whole, not just the Reds. I think Mo will be happy for me to say that with the Blues as well. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it's our job to get that work done. So yeah, that's about it for me really.
Alright, so we'll move on to the under 10s. So another lost 2-1 to Globe Rangers. Pele, what did you think of the performance and the result?
It was a much better performance from the last week. That was the main thing. That's what we were looking for. Not the best result, but it's just the case. You know, I thought it was unfortunate to get a loss. Could have maybe done enough to get a draw or possibly a win. But there's parts of that game that we need to improve on as well. You know, the possession side of thing, I think ideally need to improve on, and just keeping that pressure sustained for the whole game. Because we ran it for a good 10-15 minutes, then after that we just tired out, and then we let the other team come into it and then come back to it. Because we should have finished that game off with the chances that we had at the beginning, and at the end I was disappointed with the result. But I mean, it's a good performance, and hopefully they carry on that level of.
I think we're being nice with the under 10s too much. I think I watched the game. The performance, yeah, it was better than last week's, but again, it's the same. I'm saying the same thing again. Got one or two players that keep bailing you out of these performances, and dropping Benny back into that midfield. In one sense, it's a stroke of genius because he's involved in everything. In another sense, you're taking him out of his strong point, which is scoring goals. It's a conundrum, isn't it? You know, it's just, I think it's safe to say across all three teams. I know 12 didn't play today, but across all three, I think we have to start being realistic about things. You know, I think we've been too nice to the kids. We're too nice to our parents. We're too nice to ourselves. We're not that good. You know, that's just the truth. We're not that good. We've got few good players, individual players, but as a whole, as a team, as a unit, we're not that good.
I mean, yeah, like I think ideally we need some new players in all teams, and hopefully with the new players, it will bring that aspect of that competition, and the players that are already there, they're gonna know that my place is, you know, it's not taken for granted.
That under 8 side that we just played in Owood, they would beat our under 10s. Yeah, they would beat our under 10s. And that's a fact. I'm not even making that up. The 7-year-old boys, they will beat our under 10s. The way they play football is genius. Yeah, I know people use that word loosely too much in football, but they play tremendous football. Everything is right with what they did. Everything. I can't find a flaw in what they did.
Everything was right, and when you were actually watching the players play individually, they were playing with a purpose. So it's not like the players were technically gifted, and they were just showing off their quality on instinct. It was everything that they were doing. If it was a pass on the line, it was a little dribble. It wasn't because they had to do it. It's because they understood why they needed to do it, and it was just intelligent football.
Look, seeing that there, I know some people are gonna call me like I'm being a bit too much right now. Yeah, I'm saying a bit too much, but yeah, I'm overreacting. I'm not overreacting. I'm just gonna be straight up, blunt and honest. Asian people, we've got a long way to go before we hit the big time. I'm not surprised. I've not been surprised for good part of 10 years that we're not in the game. It's a subject matter that's deep with me, you know. It's something that I used to be pro. I was pro, like, oh, why haven't we got any Asian football players? Oh, we can play football. You know what? We can't play football the way football is supposed to be played. We're physically so far behind. Literally, we're miles away. I don't understand. Parents, stop.
I mean, what aspect could, you know, Asian, you know, families or Asian
Look,
culture change to?
Look,
improve
I have to go by what we've got, and I have to go by what I've seen in 10 years, yeah? And I can name names, but I'm not gonna in the old boys that who I potentially think could have gone there, but they didn't, and that's fine. That's gone. That's in the past. The boys that we've got today, no one's older than the age of 12, yeah. And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, how many of you realistically can make it in this game, yeah? Now we're being optimistic, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, or maybe six weeks ago, to say X, Y, and Z could be pro. Fact of the matter is, we maybe have 1 or 2. That's the God's honest truth. We have 1 or 2 that can be pro in a squad of 100 or so, 100 or so kids that walk through our doors. More, we have 2, maybe that can be pro. That's not a good number. That's not a good ratio. And if you go across any Asian team in East London, any Asian team across the country, you'll have the same statistics. And then you go into academies and you have the exact same statistics. It's not coincidence. It's not racism. It's none of it. Asian people, we're blind. We're blind. None of us are ever real. Everything is that. Yeah, they're not gonna give us a chance because we're brown skinned. Shut up.
As Asian people, we have a natural tendency to always play victim, innit?
Yeah, we're the victims of everything. Everything we're the victims of. And we love it when people make us out to be the victims. The FA had a program a few months back, Asians in Football Forum. Please shut your mouth, Asians in Football Forum. When the last time they had a black in Football Forum or white in Football Forum? It's nonsense. It's appeasement. And that's what it is. Asian people love being appeased. Because we get appeased, we think, yeah, we can make it, we can do it. We just need to work a little bit harder. Nah, change your diet, change the way you live, change everything, then maybe we've got a chance. Literally, then maybe we've got a chance. But until we don't do that, we don't stand a chance. We really don't stand a chance. We eat oil. That is our food. Yeah, I'm going to have people say to me, no, but we have chicken. We have rice with chicken. Yeah, oil. It's all cooked in oil. Everything is cooked in oil. Yeah, literally, our diet, from our diet to the way we live is bad. It's bad. Now, I'm not trying to say...
Is it bad in a way just like normal, or is bad in a way just for you to make a professional...
No. Bad in normal sense as well. If you were to get someone who's a bit more experienced, a bit more knowledge in this subject matter, in terms of health and diet, they'll say to us it's bad. Yeah. At the same time, in terms of sport, where this is our forte, it's our field, we can speak on it. It's bad, and our R77, our problem is we're fundamentally Asian. Like everything about us speaks Asian. You know, from our players to our parents to our coaches, everything is Asian. Now, as coaches, we can't change that. As the area that we live in, we can't change that. That's where we live, that's the players we attract. We're not going to say to kids, no, you can't play because you're Asian. We don't do that, yeah? But seriously, put a little bit more diversity in Asian players, take them out of their bubble a little bit, and then we can start to see what they're really about. Because today, that's what I saw. I saw a team of kids against a team of kids who were actual men in terms of their mindset, in terms of everything. They were men. They did everything like men would do. And like I said, they will put a lot of older teams to shame, but a lot of older Asian teams to shame. And that's the difference. Because the team you guys played in the 10s, they weren't great. They weren't a great football team, but they hang in there. They wait for mistakes. They wait for opportunities. They're patient. With Asians, we're gung-ho. Everything has to be 100 miles an hour. Everything has to be fast. And that stems from what's going on the sides. It's not the kids' fault all the time. Kids are kids at the end of the day. Yeah, they're not gonna learn the mental side of things that quickly. 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, they're not gonna learn it that quickly. But what goes on in the household gets shown onto the pitch. I'm a firm believer of that. Some people say to me, our parents don't have a value in this game. Parents have the most value in this game. Before Messi was Messi, before Barcelona signed Messi, he was seen, he was trained by who? His parents. We know it's well documented. Suarez, Ronaldo. They're all upbringing by their parents. So the parents are the first teachers. If our parents feel like, or they're giving false hope to the kids, and I'm not saying they do, but if they are giving false hope to the kids to say they are good or they are better than what they actually are, you're not helping these kids at all. Trust me on that. You're not helping them. You're just making them think they're better than what they are.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, someone like Chamberlain, when he made it professional, he would always talk about his dad. After a game, he would always criticise him. And it was when he's 7, 8 years old, obviously, he would come in, score 20, 12 goals in his leagues, and his dad would point out every single thing that he did wrong. Is that something that
I think there's a fine line between criticism and praise. You should never not praise your child. You should praise your child, and at the same time, you should be able to critique them as well. But the mentality that I feel that we should all adopt into our kids is let them be their biggest critic. A kid, when he walks off anywhere, not just a football pitch, if he's come out of school, if he's come out of madrasa, wherever he's come out of, he should know in his mind whether he's performed to the best of his ability or he's done everything he set out to do. He reached his targets, his goals. Not did he reach the parents' targets, not did he reach the coach's targets, but did he reach his targets? And until we don't change that mindset, we're going backwards. We keep thinking that we're going forwards because we used to have this argument: parents are not interested in their kids becoming football players. And then all of a sudden now you see our touchlines, they're full. Our touchline is full. We have more parents as an Asian football team than any other race on a Sunday. But that doesn't mean to say that we've gone forward. We haven't gone forward because a mentality has to change. And until a mentality doesn't change, we're always going to be stuck where we are. I'm telling you, I'm not surprised of the lack of Asian football players.
But isn't it like wouldn't that be just a completely drastic change? It's like almost like a revolution.
Of course, and that's what we need. Number one, England needs a revolution. Yeah. England as a nationality, as a national team, needs a revolution. The way the English game is played needs a revolution. And then we're about 25, 30, 40 years behind that as an Asian culture. We're behind that. We're behind England in that far away. How are we gonna ever get there in our lifetime? Let's be realistic. Never gonna happen. It has to be drastic. It has to be change it overnight. Change it. Get teams together. Stop all this nonsense where we've got 50, 60, 70 Asian football teams. Get together, work together. Let's all unite as one. Bring it all in. But too much ego to do that. People got too much ego to do that.
So what do you mean by bring it all together?
Why? We're East London. How can we have 50 football teams representing one culture or representing even one area? It just doesn't make sense. Go to the district team and tell me how many Asian players are there. Go to the district teams across all the age groups and tell me how many Asian players are there. I'm telling you, 1, 2, at the most. And I'm being nice there, I'm being generous. And that says it all in it. If our district, if our borough doesn't take on Asian players, we're miles behind. We're miles behind. And from what we saw today, now I hope everyone understands what I've been trying to say for such a long time. That's how far behind we are, and it's not going to change overnight. We can't change it as coaches overnight. A lot of people look at us and say, well, you're the coaches, go get it done. It's not that simple. We have them for 2 hours. In 2 hours, how much difference are we going to make in a kid's life? How much difference? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Think as much as you can,
but it's not. We just have to be realistic now. You understand? The times for saying, oh yeah, I know people are going to think, oh, because you lost, and the manner you lost, you feel like this. But I've never hidden the fact that I don't think those boys are that good. I've never hidden the fact that I don't think any of our boys are that good. I've always said they've got 1 or 2 players, and I can name them as well. Benny is physically there, and if you look at Benny, and I've been lucky enough to coach him personally and privately. Yeah, the boy's diet, the way he lives. Have you ever known a 9-year-old boy not to eat chocolate, not to like chocolate, not to eat it, not to like chocolate?
No.
That's a 9-year-old boy who doesn't eat chocolate, who doesn't go to fizzy drinks. He stays away from it. You take him to a shop. I took him into a shop. Said to him, Ben, you have whatever you want. No one's here. He picked up an orange juice and then he said to me, I can't even have Ribena. I don't want Ribena. So he had a watered down orange juice. That's a 9-year-old boy, and I'm giving him freedom of the shop. Think about it. If everybody's mentality is like that, how much better do we get? And we've seen his ability. We've seen his ability. So it's not, again, it goes hand in hand. But you know what? This is a subject matter that I can talk about forever. So I think we should have a show about it. Asians in football. And I ask anybody who has an opinion on it to come forward and speak on this matter, because it needs to be addressed and we need to do something about it. We're the Asian community. Why are we relying on people who are sitting in FA offices to do something about it? We should be doing something about it. We're at the ground, let's do it. But we need people to get together. So anyone out there who's got an import or who wants to have an import, even from the other side, to say that, oh, we're being mistreated, Come and speak to us. Let's talk about it. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. That's it, really. That's all I need to say about this at the moment.
I think some good points were raised there. I mean, there's certainly scope for broader discussion. I think Asians in football it's a touchy subject because some people don't like hearing the truth sometimes.
Asian people don't like hearing the truth.
Yeah.
Not some people. Asian people don't like hearing the truth.
That's quite true. But I think Rudy's right. I think because we're the men on the ground basically. We're seeing what's happening right in front of us. We're involved. So I think we do have a responsibility as people from an Asian community to talk about this subject and bring it up. And obviously we need people who think the opposite sometimes. That's the only way you get a debate really. But yeah.
Depressing day for us. We'll be back next week. I promise you we'll be better. Yeah, we'll try to get some results.
And then next week everyone can make it pro and then
Nah. I'm not gonna change my mind on that. No way. Not yet. Not till I see a drastic change. But yeah.
So you think
do the rest. Like, follow, subscribe, the rest of it.
Yep.
You know.
Like on Insta, Twitter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And if we can, let's get this show done soon, so we can discuss it. So anybody with, like I said, anybody with any opinion on Asians in football, bring it to us. And we'll try to get a few ex-pros as well, Asians. Someone like Anwaldin, who was at Dagenham and Redbridge and Bradford. You know, try to get him down. And and we'll see a little bit more insight into the pro game and how it works really. So yeah, till then, peace.